Picture holding a falcon in your hand. It feels light, barely 2 pounds, about 0.9 kilograms, but built for power and speed. For generations, people could only guess where these birds went when they lifted off into the sky and vanished for months at a time. And then they would return, often to the very same tree. Migration was studied through banding and radar, but the full picture stayed out of reach until satellite tracking gave us greater precision. In the 1980s and 1990s, researchers relied on radio tags. They were bulky, and the only way to follow the bird was by chasing the signal on the ground or even from a plane. You got fragments of the journey, but never the entire story. But by the early 2000s, many things changed. Small GPS trackers were built light enough to ride on the back of a stork or an eagle, often weighing less than 1 ounce or 28 grams. And the rule is simple. The device should not weigh more than about 3% of the bird's body weight. That way it won't interfere with survival. The advance, it was not only the satellites, but also how long the units could run. Early trackers carried heavy batteries, and they ran down in days. Solar panels changed that, though. Mounted on the back of the device, they recharge in sunlight, stretching the operating life from weeks to many months, and in some cases, years when conditions were favorable. On larger birds like eagles, units can run across multiple seasons, storing hundreds and even sometimes thousands of positions. Smaller songbirds remain a challenge. Since every gram matters, engineers are constantly working on designs light enough for warblers and even hummingbirds. GPS, it works through more than 24 satellites circling the Earth. Each one keeps time all the way down to the microsecond. So a tracker, it compares those signals and fixes a location that's often accurate within tens of meters, and sometimes much closer in clear skies. The data is saved on the unit and later relayed through cell phone towers or satellite links. And when the bird comes into range, there it is. For the first time, researchers wind up seeing the entire migrations drawn out instead of piecing it together from scattered clues. And the maps reveal things that nobody expected. A bar-tailed godwit, a long-beaked shorebird. They were recorded flying more than 7,000 miles. That's over 11,200 kilometers from Alaska to New Zealand without stopping. Peregrine falcons, nearly wiped out in America during the pesticide years, they were tracked. And they were tracked diving at speeds over 240 miles per hour or 386 kilometers per hour. Ospreys, once thought to wander all over the place, they were shown to follow the same flight lanes every single year, as though invisible roads have been carved into the sky. And pelicans, too, they revealed new secrets. White pelicans tracked moving in great groups from the northern plains of the United States down to the Gulf of America, following rivers and wetlands that guide them along the way. And the maps told another story. Some storks in Europe, they stopped flying to Africa altogether. They chose to start spending winters near landfills. That's where food was easy to find. Expanding cities, new wind farms, and spreading deserts. It began bending ancient routes, and migration, once thought timeless, now reads like a record of how birds adjust, or sometimes fail to adjust, to a changing world. So when you hear about GPS trackers on birds, it might sound like a story of gadgets and numbers, but the truth is, it's all about survival, instinct, and that pull to return. The same falcon you held in your hand at the start may vanish all the way into the horizon. Yet with this technology, its path can be traced across continents. And even then, the greatest story is not the tracker, it's the bird itself, carving lines through the sky. These are Interesting Things with JC.